Get your favorite health tips right here on U24. Maintain your kidney by drinking 8 to 10 glasses of water each day. This can be in form of soup, tea, water, cooked grains, and boiled vegetables.
Hi, my name is Doreen Tuhidire, coming to you from Be Money Wiser, and we're going to be bringing to you the hashtag 100 Ways to Be Money Wiser by Mrs. T. Tilda Nabandra. We're going to be running this hashtag 100 Ways to Be Money Wiser on U24 television. Don't miss out.
U24. Don't miss on U24.
Entrepreneurs Hub, giving you a deep and unique insight into agribusiness, services, ICT and innovation, industrialization, and so much more. Entrepreneurs Hub, growing your small, medium, and large business entity. With yours truly, Sandra Kahunde.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tuntu Mosquito Repellent Jelly is Uganda's first and only UNBS approved mosquito repellent jelly, protecting you from malaria while nourishing your skin with a gentle touch. Just apply it on your body and mosquitoes will not come near you. We also have Tuntu Habu Jelly, excellent for your skin, whether you have skin rashes, pimples, irritations, and other skin problems. Tuntu Habu Jelly is your body armor. Call or WhatsApp 0754 135 343 or 0780 899 580.
Good evening and welcome to the Checkpoint. This is U24 Television, the National Youth Development. The Checkpoint comes to you every Tuesday 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. And my name is John Vianney Ayebare, your host for this evening. With me I have a panel of two gentlemen. We're supposed to be having Aaron's Tabarka, but unfortunately he's unable to make it. I've just been informed. But I have an able panel with me. On my far left, I have Imran Lutakome Chigongo. He's a lawyer from the Law Development Center, and he's one of those who picked nomination forms for the presidency of this country, and will be telling us how far. You're welcome, sir. Please say hello to our viewers.
Thank you very much, our host, John Vianney. It's a pleasure to be here. And I'm looking forward for a very deep deliberation on the state of affairs.
You're welcome, sir. Next, I have Babu Emmanuel Buhabura. He is the Liaison Officer, Youth and Institutions Directorate at the NRM Secretariat. And you can see the way he's dressed. It appears today it has been a party. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, my brother, John Vianney. Thank you, Channel U24, for this invitation. Good evening, dear viewers. As my senior brother has said, today it was the first day in NRM. A great milestone achieved. I'm sure the mass party and the majority of Ugandans are very happy and excited for today's achievement.
Thank you very much. You will be telling us how we are excited and why we should be excited.
Yes.
Today's topic is between law and power. Uganda's presidential nominations and the contest for democratic space We are in a period of nominations. We've seen the Electoral Commission write to a number of candidates in regard to the requirements for one to be nominated for the office of the presidency. Today they have started nominations, and these are going to continue tomorrow. And right away I want to start off with Imran Takome Chigongo. Why are nominations important? Why should we bother? Yes, sir.
Yes, it's a very interesting question. Nomination is basically a procedure set to sieve candidates so that these candidates meet the requirements set by law and by regulation to prevent fraudsters from being leaders. So that is why they set those nominations. What is making headlines today, they are what we call presidential nominations, which have started today, and they are ending on the 25th. And after that date, even if you are who, you will not nominate. So each country sets its criteria, and Uganda, as a younger democracy, it has a very wide window. So long as you have A level and its equivalent, so long as you are 18 years and above, so long as you are a Ugandan, the constitution says, and the subsidiary laws say, you are fit to be the president of this country. So the Electoral Commission comes to set some regulations, and these regulations for concerning presidency are here under. You go and express your interest and pick what we call forms. And then after picking forms, these ones, you have to have what we call a backing of the people, because you want to become a commander-in-chief. You want to be the president of a nation. So you have to get a backing of people, close to actually 10,000. That's 9,800 signatures. These signatures have to be picked from 100 signatures from over 80 districts. So after there,
98 districts.
yes, 98
Because
districts.
2/3 of Uganda's total districts, which puts us to 98.
So I took part in that process. You know, the Uganda say, when you want to test the depth of a river, you go one leg and see. So at least I've put a leg, and I know its depth. So after that, there are other requirements, like you have to arrange 20 million shillings. You have to arrange a plan, your campaign plan, for how you're going to move. You also are supposed to present those papers when they are filled that attach your credentials. That's the exercise that is happening today. So my status, I know you are very interested. Yeah, my plate is very full. I'm pursuing a master's degree in law at Makerere, as well as finishing Law Development Center. So it was prudent to at least chew what I have already in the mouth, and then as I see the arena.
As you proceed to the arena.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So the status is that he's not going to be returning the forms to compete against you and your candidate, Babu Emmanuel. But he has not said that, at least, and he will be telling us. But Babu,
Yes.
he mentions legal requirements.
Yes, sir.
from his submissions, we get that from the qualification, you're 18 years and above, you're Ugandan, you're at least A-level, you're, then procedure requirements. 9,800 signatures from about 98 districts of Uganda and all that. Why do we need all that?
Thank you very much, my brother Vian, and the viewers out there. It is important, as my brother said, Uganda is a country governed under laws. And leadership is key in the management of resources of anything, be it family, be it business. There must be a good leadership. So for countries or states or nations, there must be leadership. Leadership that those countries have agreed upon on how they should arrive at that particular leadership. For the case of Uganda, Uganda is governed under the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, the 1995 Constitution. And in that Constitution, it is very clear we have legal regimes, including the Local Government Act for the local leaders, including the Parliamentary Act for the parliamentarians, but also the Presidential Act for the presidential elections. But the same Constitution, so according to how us as Ugandans want to be governed under our Constitution, we want to have a president as the head of state, as the fountain of honor. And then the Constitution, we set a body to help us get the president or the head of state. This body is the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission is equally established under the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. So this Constitution, it has a number of functions. You can name them. They give us, they should conduct regular, free and fair elections. The word is regular. Among others, it should set the guidelines that should help those who want to aspire for any political position. It should have a register which keeps and maintains, revises, and then, so right now it is time to have elections according to the calendar as spelled out in our Constitution. And therefore, as my brother said, it is always good, it's good practice that not every Tom, Harry, and becomes the president, or even a leader for that matter. Leaders should be tested and should be trusted. And there are also some positions in leadership which are not for a try and error position. For example, the head of state. The head of state is not a try and error position. And therefore, the Electoral Commission and other bodies that help to make sure we have a very formidable head of state give us now what we are at as nomination. It gives you a roadmap, a program, which any Ugandan, and it actually, I think it should be only Ugandans who aspire to head the state. It should be citizens of that state that can also head that state. So the head of state of Uganda, who should be a citizen, is what the requirements the Electoral Commission would want to help Ugandans get head of state also spelled out very, very clearly. So among them is expression of interest. Among them is collection of signatures. Collection of signatures simply means that you have support. Some people can support you and an agreement that you can be a president. Some of them, because we practice democracy whereby the majority reigns. But now, before we even got the majority of the citizens of Uganda to see whether they can agree in you, then you must be able to prove that at least you have some members from Uganda who support you. You elect their signatures, and then That's one of the requirements of the Electoral Commission, which has a program and then it nominates. Nomination simply means they confirm that also according to their guidelines they have spelled out, you have met all of them, and therefore you are eligible to head a state. If the citizens so think, you can be one.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I wanted to understand more, especially on the issue of requirements.
Yes, sir.
Apart from the signatures,
Yes.
you're supposed to pay 20 million shillings.
Yes, sir.
And all of you seem to suggest that for you to be head of state, you must show some muscle.
Yes.
Because from the submission of Imran, he said fraudsters should not be
Heads of states.
And even you are saying not every Tom, Harry and whoever,
Yeah.
they shouldn't just come up and be there.
Yes.
But it is not so long ago that the Electoral Commission required much less fees for presidential nominations than 20 million.
Yes.
And in fact, the law provided that the candidates were supposed to get some funding from the Electoral Commission. Before the amendment, which came into effect, we raised the money to 20 million, and also that funding for presidential candidates was scrapped off. Does that help to find the most appropriate candidate? Should a candidate for a presidency be measured on how much or how rich the person is, or how capable he is? And how does that affect the youth in participation in the elections? Remembering that our constitution was amended, removing age limits. So it is no longer 35 years. Even an 18-year person, provided you have the muscle, you can be the head of the state. Even a 90-year-old, provided you have the muscle, you can be head of the state. So, how do we reconcile that, Imran?
If you look at in practice, for instance, if you are your neighbor and you are seeing the best candidate has 35 and previously an A was 95%, what do? You lower the bar. And at a particular, for example, the next cohort, the worst candidate is having 88, and most of them are 90. What you do is raise the bar. So I understand the logic or the spirit behind that law is basically to regulate. This is basically to eliminate people who are not fit and proper to be head of state, because it actually currently it is a joking subject, because for me when I picked nomination I was number 205, which means it is incumbent upon the Electoral Commission, the Parliament actually is the one that makes these laws, to tighten the nuts a little bit. Yes. Previously, last elections, we had 88, and they sieved, they got 11. So it is incumbent to tighten.
Why should it be the role of Parliament to limit Ugandans to show that they are capable of leading the country? Why not the citizens? If we had 200 people saying we are capable, is that wrong in a democracy?
I want you to have a yardstick. The yardstick you are using is a little bit individualistic, but we are talking about matters of a nation. I don't know when they talk about Uganda what people think. What they think it's Katwe, where they live. This is a nation. It has an army. It has enemies. It has boundaries to keep. It has a lot. So in the US, you actually have to be 35 years. Testing maturity, able to make decisions. So as long as the dynamics require those laws have to be as flexible as possible, most especially when we are choosing the fountain of honor, when we are choosing the commander of the armed forces, my friend. This is
actually,
this is a position that is going to represent us in all nations.
Actually, my brother, accordingly to the Ugandan standard, once one is nominated, it means you can be head of state anytime. By the way, you've seen some candidates on some positions who emerge victorious out of some circumstances. So it means that anyone nominated
There is a chance he can be
he can be president. And because they are preparing for that, you've seen in Uganda, once you're nominated, you're given security of the state. You have the pickup, you have the soldiers or policemen paid by the state, and that car is also fueled and facilitated by the state. To prepare that in case of anything, you're now secure, you are property of the state. Because the security of the president or head of state is provided for in the constitution, and they enjoy the resources from the taxpayers' money, and therefore once you're a candidate, they assume you are one. Therefore, imagine every person chooses to run. Every person chooses to just go to walk into the electoral commission and say, I want to run, I'm here, and then off you go. Then they're supposed to protect you, prepare you to be head of state. Now, it would be misuse of taxpayers' money in the first place, because they must protect that person, that potential person who can be president. Therefore, it is correct for the body we tasked to get us head of state to save and put some checks here and there, including nomination fees. Because that 20 million shillings, many people are in business. I would like to thank the president of NRM, the president of Uganda, for the transformation programs, socio-economic transformation programs he has put in place, that many people, 20 million is just a joke these days, because people are in commercial agriculture, people are in ICT, people are in tourism, people are in services, and therefore they earn money because of the neighboring environment we have in Uganda. So because of that, many people have the 20 million they can pay. But then there are those who may not manage, those who have not taken the message of the NRM by their ears and practiced, who can lack the 20 million shillings. And therefore they won't contest. Now, if you have the 20 million shillings, are you able, do you have some structures? You cannot wake up from the brew and say you want to become head of state. Because that's a job that is so stressing, that requires experience, that requires so many other, all the qualities of a leader. One should have them to be president. So now, if you've lived, for example, in Kampala here, and you've not reached Karamoja, how will those people know that you can easily represent them? The issue of signatures come in. The Electoral Commission actually requires you to have 98 districts, signatures from 98 districts, at least 100 people. Not 100 people, but registered voters in those districts. Support your nomination. Say, yes, this person here. Now, you may have the 20 million shillings, but we have the capacity to move to 98 districts in Uganda. Because today we have about 146 districts. However, for us in NRM, we have 151 districts. These are called political districts. But accordingly, I think we have 146. So if you must collect signatures from 98 districts, it means you must move. You must move. You must have, you may not move to all of them, because also time frame may not allow you, but you must have now other people who call them agents, who can move your nomination papers and they sign for you. You've seen some parties which are not, they have failed. They have failed. It's not easy. So I would support the Electoral Commission and our policymakers, members of parliament, who designed such laws, that yes, put some checks and balances. Even when that is done, he has told you as number 250 something to pick a nomination form where you didn't pay. But for us in NRM, you pay before you access the nomination forms. Why? They don't want to risk the time, because the officials of the Electoral Commission are paid a salary or an allowance from the taxpayers. Now, each time you go to pick them, you have to waste time some time for some official. Therefore, for us in NRM, before you come to pick nomination forms, you first pay. Show commitment, show seriousness.
Internal party elections.
Actually, yes, internal party elections, you first pay before you pick nomination forms. Dr. Tango Doi, his guidance have been very, very clear. Pay, come and access. So that you prove that you're interested, you've taken time in what you want. You're actually serious. Yeah, because the Ugandans, some of them have time to waste. But then there are those who don't have time to waste. Imagine spending the whole day giving people who never return back. The whole day you're seated, and you must prepare for them, of course. A person coming to be president should not come and be treated like meet conmen. You must put setbacks that they cannot meet conmen, and therefore they are clear. So I think it is important, Bwana Vian, that as a country, nomination of head of state should be something should have clear guidelines, clear laws, and then the setbacks are also important.
Thank you very much. We are streaming live on YouTube. You could go on YouTube and just search U24 television and then send your comments there. You could be agreeing with our panelists or disagreeing. We shall be reading your comment in the show. But we're also live on social media handles, on Twitter, Facebook, and many others. Search for U24 television and follow the show. Speaking on the requirements set by Electoral Commission, especially on the signatures, let us analyze this idea of Electoral Commission regulating the way these signatures are verified. We've seen complaints from very many candidates that they are informed very late. The National Unity Platform said that despite submitting signatures much earlier, they were just informed, was it on Friday, that they were missing a number of signatures. We have candidates. I was following Byamujisha Moses from Rukunjiri, who has given up the presidential race because he was informed just yesterday that your signatures are not enough, just yesterday, and yet nominations have begun today. General Grigore Gishamuntu and his party, they're also crying that we're informed very late. So why is it that people submit signatures and it takes long, the Electoral Commission, to communicate to them? And is it applying the principles fairly and impartially?
You know why? The Electoral Commission has set deadlines for most of these things, and they are following the law. The law or the policies made by Parliament. Now, a person preparing to be president of the country must prepare. It's not something you must wake up today and you say, I want to be president. Now, the guideline says the people supporting your nomination should be citizens of Uganda and voters in those electoral areas. It means if I move to Arua, I must get a Ugandan who resides in Arua, or even if he doesn't reside from there, but he votes or casts from one of the polling stations within Arua district. And today, the Electoral Commission, when you go online, just put your search engine and you search for EC voter locator. You need to put a NIN number, that's a national citizen number, and then you have where you vote from. So sometimes I think we do some things unseriously, and many people know me. I always want to be serious on things that happen. I would encourage all Ugandans to be very serious. I wonder how someone has a signature which is not authentic. Because what the Electoral Commission is doing is simply going back and cross-checking. You gave me Bahaburgwa Emmanuel from Kanungu. Is there a voter there? No. This one is a voter in Mubende, for example. You don't qualify to nominate someone to contest from that electoral area. So that means that some of these people, when I looked at whether informed late or early, you should take due diligence. You should have structures, for example, the political party. For us, as for example, the NRM Secretariat, what we did. Number one, we got signatures from our leaders, because the NRM has structures from top to bottom, and a total of about 3 million leaders of the party. begin from at different levels. For example, we have our grassroots structures, or the village, or the cell with 30 leaders of the party. And then it goes up to the district. So now, for us, we are lucky. We got to be a leader also to be at the village level. We had guidelines where one must be a voter at that village. So you wouldn't stay in Kampala. You've never voted. You go to contest in your village. There was a setback at that time. There was a checklist at that time. So for us, all our signatures were authentic because number they are from leaders, and to be a leader in where they are, they were already taken through. But we still went ahead to cross-check. We would see that this signature we have, is it in the system? Is he a voter? So we are saying these people who have signed for our presidential hopefuls are not eligible voters in Uganda or in those districts. So the Electoral Commission now, when you submit, they take that burden to cross-check for you, which should have ideally also done and known what you've submitted. In fact, even if they propose the fine for them, no one should complain, because you're giving them garbage. For them, they have submitted names, yes, thank you, but they are not verified. They don't qualify. So now, the Electoral Commission, what they have simply done is to go back, cross-check, do due diligence on behalf of the citizens. Where do the Electoral Commission reclaim their power from? Article number 1 of the Constitution. The people. Because the people who gave the power, who set the Constitution, gave the EC on behalf of the people. See for them candidates and give them a good product.
Imran, do you agree?
I think the problem is coming from the whole process. Let us look at the numbers. How many people returned nomination forms? You'll find that there are 35 candidates returned nomination forms. So if you do the maths, I don't know whether they are using computers or humans to do the verification. So yes, the requirement is 98,000. So if you just look at that average, and I'm sure most of the candidates did not only provide 98,000, they got more. NRM got 3 million. I don't know how many NUP submitted. So I don't know the criteria. So we don't have concrete evidence on how this verification is done. Yes, it's an inside job. We don't know whether there is competence or incompetence, but there is the time frame vis-a-vis the number of candidates, which could be cured on the numbers. If we had 2 or 3, maximum 5 candidates, then
so in fact, if in a district I've brought 150 and you need only 100, so if you find 30 are not compliant, they should be compensated by the other number.
You see, so that is prompting some political organizations to submit 3 million. 3 million to verify that. Are they using AI, artificial intelligence, or humans?
But you should know that the NLM government has provided quality education to Ugandans, and majority know how to read and write, but also know how to use a computer.
So what are they
using? So it's a matter of data tabulation.
So we don't have...
And then the systems will give you.
So we don't have that concrete evidence on how this verification is done. So that if they're using humans, automatically the delays have to happen.
Thank you. My next question is on security and public order. And this is very contentious, especially in times like these ones. Is security capable, one, of providing security to all candidates? Secondly, of ensuring public order, irrespective of which candidate? And thirdly, ensuring that where Ugandans, because this time is going to be a heated period, where Ugandans are, expressing themselves in one way or another to maintain law and order. And what is the role of the citizens in all this? Imran, start.
Yes. All that we are praying for is a peaceful electoral process. currently, if I show you what is happening, the spirit of nationalism, what is happening around the world, the demonstrations, and what is happening in Nepal, it is such tensions. If such tension is not handled well, it can lead Uganda to be a failed state. However, the president of this country has strengths and weaknesses. So one of his strengths is what we call security. Concerning security, he has kept the borders of this country safe. How about 35 candidates? So I assure you the security of these candidates will be guaranteed, but the unrest, the potential unrest that can erupt when security organs...
You need to submit on that, remembering that in 2021, we had a candidate who was campaigning with a bulletproof.
Yes, it's an indicator.
Was it a real bulletproof?
Politics is a science and art of managing people. So it was his art. So I want to make this clear that in case the security organs do what we call overreach or exceed the reasonable powers given to them, it is a contentious moment where the youths, they are bazukuru, they are hoping for change, they are hoping to, so we should be very, very careful. The country is vulnerable at this moment. So I'm urging the security organs to handle people as human beings.
Thank you. Babu, security police has been saying, we will not allow processions. Today, your people made the processions. I think you saw them.
No.
They made processions. People on Google bypass and what have you, there are videos all over. The news have reported everywhere with a band moving around the city. Would you be surprised if security tomorrow was clamping down on similar processions for the other candidates?
Now, recalling our history, where it's only President Museveni that has managed to have free and fair regular elections, minus major instances of unrest. When you look at all the other presidents we've had, overthrows. But also, a political period like this one is very, very tense. It's very volatile. Anything can happen. But also, given that the leadership we have in Uganda has a background of war, security in nature, like the president normally calls it, the original NRA members, they have been perfect at the game of security. Therefore, we need to be, okay, for us, the Bazukuru, who have not seen these unrests, we always sleep. But we always mindful that elections are tense. Interests are, because of interests, by the way, now there are very many interests, both national and foreign interests. So, we don't know which candidate is the target of the foreign interests. Foreign interests may not be good for the country. We have seen them before. And this is a time when we have a lot of minerals, a lot of unused resources, and therefore some people may want to use it. We also have the youngest population, which can provide labor, actually cheap labor. So interest can be foreign. We may find there are some countries who are setting up factories which do not have labor, and they know Ugandans have young people, energetic, and they can go and do their labor in kind of slavery. Therefore, there can be interests. So security in Uganda is at up of their game. You don't know when such an interest will now be manifested, or when those people harboring such interests will now get into full force. It's going to be a time of nomination. And you know, this is happening on a working day. This nomination is happening on a working day. Kampala is the busiest hub of Uganda. And therefore, if it is the busiest hub of Uganda, it means that you can't do what? You cannot allow people to stop work as it's a public holiday simply because someone is being nominated. As far as I know, the guideline where there are no processions. But you know, funds are very tricky. Funds of either even football or even these political candidates. Some out of excitement, and some can always have around. But for me, what I urge everyone, and we are on social media, we see what's happening. I want people to always see the kind of processions some political leaders can have. Violent. People are doing business. People are losing lives. People are losing phones. What? Because some people are exercising their rights to do anything. So sometimes when the laws of the land say, please, stop this, people could have had processions today if there were some. And you may not have a security report saying someone's phone has been grabbed. But if people have a procession on the other, you wonder what happens. You will see people will have a lot of issues. Therefore, other political friends of the NRM, they should follow the set guidelines. For example, the president was nominated in Dureza. He came and had his rally in Kololo, ceremonial grounds, free from any disturbing other people's peace. But some political candidate is saying, me, I will get nominated and have my meeting in a market. If you're in charge of anything, what is the intention? What are you trying to do? You have people, it's a working day, people at work, trying to get earning a living for their families. You want to have a procession, disrupt their peace, disrupt their business, and also have a meeting in a market.
On addition to that,
yes, sir,
we had an advantage or a blessing in disguise during last presidential elections. There was COVID.
An advantage or a disadvantage?
A blessing in disguise, whereby you would see some people allowed to do rallies, others are not. Now today, if you cannot say that there were no processions today, according to what happened. These are people showing appetite for their leader. Processions are inevitable. The new president is going to nominate tomorrow. So the security organs are going to be in combat with those who are going to show appetite for their leader. It is expected. So maybe what happened today should be a yardstick to other candidates also. Yes, they should be allowed to escort their leader, to nominate, and also have a meeting.
On that point, the people who escort a candidate for nomination is also spelled out. I think they give them about 20. So not every number can escort a candidate.
So what happened is that supporters were moving around town without a candidate, but they were moving around. And from what I observed, I met some group myself. Security was giving them, protection. So I think from a submission we can
need
conclude
the
that
same yardstick to other.
Thank you very much. I have feedback coming through. A senior citizen is watching. Choncho Agnes is watching. Thank you very much, Choncho Agnes. She has been on the checkpoint always. And she's asking Imran, she's appreciating that you're doing a good job. She's thanking the panel for the good job. But she's also asking Imran, what lessons should we learn from the previous very many nominations, nominations in previous elections, and how do they affect the elections? I have those nominations before. because we have had many nominations prior to these, how have they affected our elections?
Yeah,
I think that's her question.
If you look at the numbers speak. Last elections we had 11 candidates. How does it affect? Of course, there is division of votes. You will find that also we lose track as a country. Imagine if at all there are 5 buses, there are 11 buses, they are all saying, we have the vision for Uganda. So this causes a lot of divisionism. However, today we are seeing there is potential increase in that number. Of course, by 2050, you're going to see there might be more than 11 candidates for this time. So, but that is the ground they have set, the laws have set. And if at all the laws allow that, then we shall, if we are to fix, we can't fix now, we are to fix the next election by tightening the nut.
We had nominations of Honorable Norbert Mao in the last elections. This election he appears to have been convinced by you, the NRM, that he should join you. How does that affect the political landscape of the opposition vis-a-vis the NRM?
No, he may have not chosen to join the NRM, but his strategy. Politics is about interest and also realities. And the Honorable Chairman Mao, who is a highly respected member of the Ugandan society, actually a statesman, reasons objectively where Uganda is right now, it requires a president like President Museveni, who is already tested and tried. Therefore, the Democratic Party, where Norbert Mao is the chairman, is the memorandum between the Democratic Party and Uganda that they are enjoying. And they have objectives they want to achieve as the Democratic Party. So if they can still achieve the objectives, even when they're working with the national resistance movement, why then waste their meager resources?
Finally, I want to ask you issues concerning recommendations. Should you be in a position of Byabakama? And as a lawyer, I wanted you to tell us, those who will miss out on nominations, do they have any remedy? Can they challenge the nomination? Can they extend the time of nomination? Is it possible? What is their remedy? And what would be your recommendations? I'll get some from you and others from Babu as we come to the conclusion.
I think number one, we should adopt the ICTs because it is a technology era. These signatures, these submissions, they should be actually be done online. Yes, where you get your forms, even applications should be done online to prevent this fracas of signatures.
So if I want to nominate a candidate,
yes,
there could be a link. I just
yes,
go in, I put in my details.
We are at that level now. If they are questioning security, we can use cryptocurrency.
I think if that was possible, you would also have collected the signatures.
Blockchain technology is now present concerning that effect. Two, if this position is so appetizing, so juicy, the position of the presidency, and the people are flooding it like that, which means there is more need to tighten the knot. If it is 20 million shillings this time, I think it should triple. Yes, so that the economic muscle is tightened. You know, if they are saying how many signatures from 90? Do 120 districts, you know. So this helps. I would like to submit very categorically clearly that I am a sober DP, by the way. I'm a member of Democratic Party.
So you following Mao or you following the other rebel group of DP?
I am a sober DP who sees politics in a sober lens.
You see where others can't see.
My leader for the Democratic Party, of course, is Honorable Mao, constitutionally. What he did is it's called sharing the national cake. Though it is not the aspiration, it's not a representation of the majority
the sober
of
DPs.
So there is a benefit and there is an impact.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, time is against us. We were supposed to have Aaron Tabaruka, who is a PFF member, but unfortunately he was unable to make this. So, Babu, your recommendations?
Thank you very much. I think you asked that those who may miss nomination, do they have any remedy? I think our laws of the land are very clear. For the case of parliamentary elections, I think you must start with the Supreme Court to understand why. But then so my recommendation would be
presidential, not parliamentary.
For presidential, this is a presidential nomination. So those who miss presidential nomination, I think they have now to run to a court of law with a petition, but in a Supreme Court. I don't know whether that applies to only parliamentary elections or even these nominations. But I think since parliamentary, then they must go to the Supreme Court. And of course, the law is the highest body in the land. If they say something, then we have to obey. We have seen that happen even during these court martials and what have you. So my recommendation would be that at least if a candidate feels aggrieved or is not allowed to nominate for any reasons, maybe there should be a court, because the Supreme Court is not an easy court to start entertaining some businesses. But before that, the National Electoral Commission has powers to either nominate or denominate a candidate. Okay. I think it's also in their powers, if you don't meet their qualifications, not to nominate you, and that's it. It's within their powers. They say it's their rights not to nominate you because you fail to justifiably fulfill all the requirements. Okay. So I would recommend that the EC should give people some time to appeal, and then they listen to the appeals, than just informing people that you didn't meet the requirements and you have just 1 day to run around the country and have some of these.
Thank you very much. So I want one final word from each of you in just 10 seconds, because time is already not our friend. So Imran, your final remark?
Yeah, my final submission of this deliberation, we are on a time bomb. We don't want to see a country in chaos. We don't want to see a Nepal in Uganda. We don't want to see a UK currently in the chaos it is in right now. Let us create an environment where we call it a democracy. It's a competition of ideas, and may the best candidate take on the presidency.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Babu.
Thank you very much. Mine is to call upon all Ugandans. Today, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has been fully nominated. He is a candidate, and he should be the president of Uganda in 2026 to 2031. Therefore, mine is to rally all Ugandans, especially the young people, those institutions of higher learning, those doing any business in Uganda, that the president we have seen tested and who has love for Uganda, is a Pan-Africanist, a trusted leader, is President Yoweri Museveni. It's now a call to all of us to run around the country, mobilizing all our friends, all our neighbors, and telling them the good message. Let's not entertain any lies from some of these opposition figures, because some of them, the things they say and use to campaign is not really welcome. It's divisionism, it is it's drumming, drums of war and what have you. And therefore, I call upon all Ugandans, let's support President Museveni, let's support him overwhelmingly. And for me, I see that at the Youth and Institutions Directorate of the NRM Secretariat, we have a target of having 13 million votes for President Museveni in 2026. Let's all look at 13 million votes, let's mobilize so that he can win with a landslide in the next coming elections. I thank
you very much. Thank you very much. That call was passionate. Imran forgot to make such a call. I see he's now regretting. But unfortunately, we'll be here again next week on Tuesday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Imran will have a chance also to rally his supporters. I don't know which candidate is going to support now that DP is not in. But this is a checkpoint. It comes to you every Tuesday, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. on U24 television, the National Youth Development. Today, we are discussing politics and power, presidential nominations in Uganda, and the contestation for democratic space. I had Babu Emmanuel, who is the liaison officer for institutions from the NRM Secretariat. I also had Imran Chigongo Rutakome, a lawyer from the Law Development Center, and one of those who tested the waters and picked the nomination forms. Coming up is U24 Cinema. Stay tuned and see you next week on Tuesday.